Okay, I don't know if you can hear me now, but I saw this story that was so interesting. I was like, let's talk about it. Let's do a quick little video about it. Let's see if my StreamYard is going to cooperate today. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a good Friday. It is a gorgeous day in North Carolina, y'all. And make sure when you come in that you like and subscribe to the channel. And y'all know this is about my passion. So I like sharing, different things with you guys. So there's a video I wanted to, let's take a look at it together. I was watching it and I found it to be so interesting. So it's about this lady who is raised in a sundown town. Now, if you don't know what a sundown town is, it's where, and believe it or not, some of them still exist in Americas today, okay? Where, Black people should not be or allowed to be in these towns after dark. So I'm going to see if I can pull this up for you guys, and then I'm going to check and make sure it's playing correctly. Okay, so I'm going to have to check it out, make sure it's playing good, and rewind it.
And first up on the Factor tonight, an incredible, fascinating, and compelling story of self-discovery. First up on the Factor tonight, an incredible, fascinating, and compelling story of self-discovery.
Oh, I still don't like the way it's playing. I don't know what I can do. I still don't like the way it's playing. Let me try again and see how good I can get this going.
And family. Decades ago, Lacey Tizino's biological mother made a life-changing decision while pregnant. In a bar just off of Montrose Boulevard. Ultimately, Lacey ended up being adopted while also being truly loved by that adopted family. But there were also hidden secrets, like being told her birth mother was dead and she was white. She was told she was white while growing up in the sundown town. Blacks were told
Okay, I'm gonna just try to keep going, and then after this, I really got to figure out what's going on with this. Got to figure out what's going on with this. So the girl grows up in a sundown town, and lately people have been talking about sundown towns again with the stuff with Trump. They're saying that a lot of his visits are in sundown towns. Now I don't know about all of that, but that's what's in the news. So I said, let's watch some of this, and I'm gonna make it a quick video. We're not gonna spend that much time on it because I don't like the sound. Like, it sounds clear when I'm talking, but when I play the video, it's a problem.
to a void called Vidor, Texas. It's truly a layered slice of life filled with love, confusion, and coming to terms with the hand life has given you. Lacey joins us now here in the studio to talk about it, sharing it for the first time on broadcast television. Of course, you did it on the podcast where I saw it. I stole it. So, but incredible.
He stole it, wink, wink. And I decided, hey, we need to share this story. So basically, she grew up in a sundown town. Now, I don't know if she appears to you to be black or white, or what you think she is. Like, by looking at her, if you could tell what she is. I mean, you could tell she's not white. She looks mixed.
Incredible story. So take us to the beginning. It starts off in a Montrose bar, from what you can recall and what you've been told.
Yes. So my was owned by my father, Ronnie Huckabee. So he was one arm running this bar. It was Michael's, the gay bar. Next door, there was Michelle's. It was the lesbian bar. And my mom was a regular there. She would come in. All of her friends knew him. And when she was pregnant with me, she found herself in the bar. And she had already made up her mind that she was going to have an abortion. She didn't tell my biological father that she was pregnant. So he was a trucker. They were out in California. She finds out she's pregnant.
So basically, I think like the lady might have been an alcoholic. And so she's at the gay bar on one side, and he's the owner of the side, where the men are. But he knew that he wanted to be a father. So the mom told him that she wasn't, planning on keeping the baby. She was planning on having an AB. But he knew he wanted to be a father, and he was in the rainbow, and so he saw an opportunity to, be a father. So he made sure that the mom stayed clean. He took care of her, and I'm gonna let some more play.
She flies home to Houston, and she knows what she's gonna do. She's at the bar. She's drinking. She's pouring her heart out to my dad, who's there. He owns the bar, and he wanted a child so bad for many years. He always wanted a family. With his lifestyle, couldn't have one. And so when she's telling him her story, he wanted me. He said, you know what? He found an opportunity. He saw an opportunity where he could help her out, and said, okay, I'll take her. What do you need? I'll take care of you. I'll pay for everything. And so right then, the next day they made the agreement, and he took care of her, and he provided for her, made sure she stayed clean, and until I was born. And then they signed the papers, and he adopted me.
And
so this is where it starts going down the rabbit hole. So all this time, like she grows up not knowing that, I don't know if they're saying that the mother was white and the biological dad was black. I think that's how it goes, but I'm gonna play a little more. I don't want to take this whole video, and I have to take breaks in between. It ain't because I want to.
Which was untrue. And so when I had the adoption papers, and my family was told that he was my dad, right? And so that was part of the confusion. Was okay, that wasn't the race, obviously they didn't put my mom's correct race, and then they also didn't tell the truth that he wasn't my biological father, that it wasn't my mom just giving her rights away. He wasn't the biological father. And so that wasn't told until revealed to me until I was 18.
And of course you ended up with him moving from Houston to.
And I have so much compassion about adoption stories right now. In Black families, it's like almost every family has an auntie that's raising her niece, and sometimes they know and sometimes they don't know, or big mama raising her grandchild, sometimes they know or they don't know. So I'm fascinated with adoption stories. So she didn't know that she was adopted.
Viter because he became sick.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So they're on the same.
So I'm gonna go through this. Okay, so he had cancer in his arm, in his hand. They had to take the hand, but the cancer continued to spread up his arm. They had to take the arm, and there was it was spread into his lungs. But then I think she said the cancer spread to his brain.
And so I kind of went between the three houses. So I had 7 cousins. We all lived right there. And so my grandparents were really grieving and struggling. And my grandmother also lost her mom a month after my dad. And so that was a really dark time. But I remember being surrounded by love. My cousins, my 2 aunts, my uncles, everyone loved me.
And that's what's important. I find that when I talk to people who have been adopted, if they had a good, loving family that raised them, that's all that really matters to them. Because you never know how the adopted family is going to treat you. So the biological family, you know what I'm saying? At least she was loved. She said she was spoiled. And so after the father passes away, the grandparents are left to raise her. And she's right there with her aunties. I don't know why my battery is low. Wait a minute, y'all. My battery is low. I'm going to play some more while I'm doing my battery.
They took care of me. It was, although it was sad, I was well taken care of when that happened.
You said you were the special one in the family, and some of your cousins got jealous as a result of you being so special.
I was spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. And keep in mind, for the viewer out there those who don't know about Vidor, Texas, it's known as a sundown town. It was a town that many blacks would avoid at all costs, never stop in, because they had Ku Klux Klan connections. They were...
Ooh, baby. I might have in my lifetime rolled through a sundown town and didn't even know it. Okay, I probably have and didn't even know it. Praise God, the car didn't break down in none of them places.
Allegedly racist there, and you're probably saying, don't say allegedly, it was true. And so black families ran out in the 90s when they tried to locate the federal government.
And she would know, trust me, she would know. So it kind of seems like, she was hidden in plain sight. So she probably got to see things that, anyway.
Locate some black families there, but you thrived there.
I did. Somehow, some way. I think part of it was I just had an amazing family. And then I think the other part was, I don't know if it was the disguise that I put on. I was just trying to, fit in. And I think I did a good job.
But that was all you knew because...
Yeah, because she didn't know anything. I think it would have been different if she hadn't been born into that family. So she didn't know anything different.
They told you, and one of the things you mentioned earlier was in the podcast, your grandparents or your grandmother or relatives told you, you're white. You're white.
If anyone asks, you're not black. Yeah.
And I mean, you didn't know anything else.
No.
And
it didn't feel right. Of course,
call me crazy, but besides the nose, he could kind of pass for her dad.
Had this feeling like, but you just go with it, right? When you're that young, you're just like, all right, like this is the story I've got. I'm running with it. I mean, I made up all kinds of stories, like just to, try to keep it all going.
Right. All right. We'll be right back with you. So you have much more to tell.
I was class president, homecoming, prom.
Isn't it beautiful that she had a good life? And I think that makes the difference in the adoption story, if the person had a good life, because I think if it didn't turn out good, you would have a lot of regrets. But here we go.
Queen, I had a great group of friends. I was into sports. When people say, "Oh man, it must have been really hard. It must have been awful. You didn't have any friends." And I'm like, "No, I was doing very well and well taken care of." Yeah.
And so one day you get a knock on the door. You're preparing for church. I think.
Oh, y'all, this is where it gets good. It gets juicy.
It's Easter, right?
Yeah.
You're preparing for church on Easter Day, and you're sophomore in high school, or you're in high school.
Junior. Yeah.
And who is that knocking on the door?
Charles. So that's my mom's boyfriend. At the time
So mind you, since she was born, her adoptive father went on the birth certificate. And I wonder if she would have told this story if the adoptive father was still alive, because couldn't he get into a lot of trouble if this had came out while he was still living? But I guess what, people do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Put the daddy, they ain't the daddy. You know what I'm saying.
They had been together many years, and he had been following my
and while I'm thinking about it, I heard in Georgia they are mandatory giving DNA tests at the child's birth. And y'all, they need to do that everywhere. Yeah, they should do that everywhere.
Location and story, and he always knew where I was. He's like a, big IT guy, and he always used to drive down to Louisiana for his family. And he kept telling my mom, you need to get in touch with her. You need to get in touch with her. My mom was like, she's too young. Let's leave it alone. I'm not going to do this right now.
And this is after you were told your mom was dead.
Yes.
And
just gorgeous, just gorgeous. A lot of times when this happens, the child end up looking just like the mama, just like her. Oh my God, isn't the mom pretty? She is pretty.
You had no family other than the family inviter.
That's it. And so he shows up and he gets spooked and thinks that they're not going to let him see me. So he lies and says he's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, I'm Lacey's brother. So I meet him and, he says, our mom lives in Houston. And I'm like, this story sounds so bogus. And his age, and my family was like, man, he's making it up. And you could tell he was like super nervous. And so we just didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it, I was like, no, there's something to this guy. Like there's definitely, but at that point, I'm like, wait, is what he's saying true? Like, is my mom really alive? Like,
this is so juicy to me. Okay, so she still thinks she's white in this sundown town. And y'all, it's just a different level. When it's a sundown town, it's a whole different level.
Is this really my brother? I didn't really know.
And your family told you what? And they were emphatic about it.
Oh, they were like, no, I don't know what he wants. He's probably crazy. It's not true. Your mom's dead. She died of, HIV when you were young.
Hi, Darla. I thought I would show something different tonight. How everybody's talking about the same thing on their channel. So I was like, let's switch this up. Let's do something different. Didn't you say you live near a sundown town or something like that? I've never been to one that I know of. I've been to some scary places, okay, that I wouldn't be as a Black woman, that I wouldn't be at night. As time has gone on, those places now, Black people live in those places. So I wouldn't be like how I was years ago. Like when my kids were little, I was in one and I needed gas and I was not even allowed to pump gas. So it's a scary thing. And so I wonder what the people in that town would have done if they have found out that she was really Black.
And so, I just kind of brushed it off.
Mm-hmm. And you went on with your life.
Yeah.
Ended up in college at Sam Houston.
Yeah. And then sophomore year, I said, you know what? It came back around.
Before we get to that, though, let's go to the realization that you were Black from your suite mates.
Mm-hmm.
It was your first day and you said you were in the bathroom and your suite mates walked in.
So isn't that something? When she goes to college, oh, Darla, it's diverse. Yeah, here too. The place where I was at is so diverse right now. It's very, very diverse. But it was such like a I don't know if it was an official sundown town, but baby, it was a lot going on. Even way, way back in history, the white people that lived there back in history, they would marry their cousins, allegedly, but I know, to keep the money and the land in the family. But that happened a lot way back then. If you're watching Gone with the Wind and some stuff like that, you will know that they, back in slavery time, that's how they kept stuff in the family. So up until recently, this city where I felt like, I was scared to death. And I still go through that city now, but I don't feel scared at all now. So I think over time, things change. And if anybody is watching this that knows how I can fix this video and have it playing smoothly, let me know. Oh, back in the 30s? Yes. Okay. So by your generation, Darla, everything is, smooth.
And saw some Abercrombie and Fitch posters on the wall that you had put up.
Yeah.
You put it up before they got there. You were the first one there.
Yeah, I had all my white models on the wall.
And you heard them in the bathroom saying what?
They said, oh, man, we got to...
But I'm surprised that her white family, it looks like she went to a HBCU. I'm surprised her white family, sent her to a Black college, a historically Black college. That's interesting. So I wonder in her mind, was she thinking, why are they sending me to this college?
A white roommate. Because they see all these pictures. I've got all these pictures of family and these, white models with their shirts off and stuff. And so they thought they had a white roommate.
And so they had a conversation with you one day. And what did they tell you?
Oh my gosh. They're like, hey, you're telling us this about your family, but which one of your parents are Black? And I was like, neither one of them. They're like, girl. They're like, what are you talking about?
Isn't it something how people from the outside can pick up on things quicker, and they weren't in that bubble with her. So they probably was like, sis, look, we got to tell you something.
About, like, you're Black, right? And I was like, well, I was told my mom was Hawaiian and my dad was white. They were like, that doesn't add up. Like, we just want to make sure that you know. And oh my gosh, I mean, they were like you. They were there crying, laughing.
It is, y'all. That is funny right there. But it just shows like perspective and how you grow up. And as long as you're in your little bubble, in your little town, all safe, and you're around people that you know and that love you, they're not going to point it out. Or they probably was talking behind her grandparents' back.
And I'm like, this is not funny. My whole life is falling apart.
We'll be back with your story in just a moment. And welcome back.
So guys, let me know. I'm going to keep playing this. But let me know if you like these type of videos. It just can't be all Bath and Body Works. I like to sprinkle in some history, some Bath and Body Works, some politics, and I know it probably seems like I'm all over the place. I know. I just be wanting to share it with y'all, okay? Just want to share.
Back to the Factor Uncensored. Lacey is back sharing her incredible personal adoption story. She's also talked about part of the experience in her book, Therapy After Mom Died. So
we should do a book club. I'm always telling everybody else, you should do a book club. Now, I have had a book club before, and I think it would be good. Yes, Darla, you know what? Me and you, we vibe together. We like this kind of stuff. And it's a great departure from all that mommy sector drama. Oh my God.
Now you're in college, your friends who are still, you have one of them here with you tonight.
Yeah.
They're still with you. And they said, girl, you're Black. You don't see that you're Black. and the average viewer out there would be like, why don't you know you're Black at that point? I would think your family hit it in so hard.
I think it is that. And I think, honestly, when you're where you grow up, and if everyone around you is white and you just don't have any Black friends and you don't have any Black family members and you don't have anyone around, and this is what you see, that's what you watch on TV. You just go with what you're told, honestly. Like, of course you question it, but to me, I was like, I don't know what Hawaiian people look like. Like, I never seen a Hawaiian.
And one day you decided to pick up the phone while working at HEB in their gas station.
Darla, did you hear that? HEB, baby. Oh my God. My Jazzy life, you have made it into the video, baby. She was working at the HEB.
At HEB and say, let me call this woman who's on my birth certificate listed as my mother for this English project I had to do at Sam Houston.
I think that deep in her heart, she knew, especially she had all the evidence the whole time on her birth certificate, and maybe she just wasn't ready. And then when she was finally ready, she made the call.
Yeah, I wanted more information about her. And I thought, okay, at that time, maybe I can call. If there's a number listed for her, they'll have some kind of information that I can get. And I called and she picked up the phone. That was the first time I heard my mother's voice.
And what did she say?
Oh my gosh. She said, may I ask who's speaking? And I said, I think I'm your daughter. When she said she was Elizabeth, and she said Lacey. And when she said that, I knew. I'm like, how, there's no way that she would know. She said, come to me right now. Where are you? I said, I'm in Huntsville. She said, okay, I live in Houston. I didn't know she lived in Houston, didn't know where she was. And it was, Mother's Day that morning. She said, come.
But the mom looks like she's mixed too. And Darla, I never heard of HEB until we ran into My Jazzy Life. Okay, I had never heard of it, and now I don't want to hear about it no more. We don't have HEB in North Carolina.
Come today. I want you to come today. And I guess Huntsville's like an hour and a half away. And I got off work that day and I drove and met her for the first time.
And when you first laid eyes on her?
Oh my gosh, she was beautiful. She was beautiful. I knew right there.
You guys, I wish this experience for some of my friends, because y'all, it doesn't always turn out this way, you know, because you never know how the birth mother is going to accept you.
Then I saw it, was like, that's my mama. I knew it.
We'll continue with you in just a moment. Stay with us here on The Factor. And welcome back to The Factor. Lacey is back sharing her story of adoption. She also shared it online in a conversation with She's Happy Hair CEO, Warren Broadnax, who brought it to me. And he also joins us in studio now. But first of all, let's go back to you, Lacey. Meeting your mom.
You guys, let me know if you guys want to cover the book, but I feel like we getting enough of the story that I feel full. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't do any research on this, so I don't know the background that told me her. Oh, I'm reading what you said, Darla, but I couldn't see if you finished the sentence. I was waiting to see. But I thought this was such a cool story. I didn't even finish watching this video before I decided to share it, because I was like, this is good. And it's a quickie. And I know in the mommy sector, we got a showdown coming at 7:30. So I want to just wrap it up. Okay.
And also you learned you had an older brother.
Yeah, Damien.
What was that like?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, there's something so incredible about, you know, finding out that you're adopted, finding out that everyone around you, you know, wasn't, you know, a part, like blood family, and then meeting my brother and knowing that we had the same mom. There's something.
You know, I have heard that. I've heard that, you know, especially because she was the only child, that it's different, like that they want the connection with somebody else sharing their blood, you know. And those of us who haven't been adopted, we can't fathom that. But for them, it's very important to have someone that you share blood with.
Different about that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
But you still truly appreciate the family that you were raised with, because you said they showed you nothing but love.
Oh yeah, they're spectacular.
And matter of fact, your grandmother,
she lives with us now. She's 85 and she lives in our house now.
And you told Warren an interesting.
That's so beautiful. That is beautiful
Story. Here's a woman who was 85 who came from Selma, Alabama. Then she ended up in Vidor, Texas, and now she's living with a family full of Black people.
Wait till she sees this.
Not a family full of Black folks.
Oh, yeah. We rocked her world.
And so, Warren, you were just taken by this story, just like I have after seeing your podcast. It's just incredible.
Just like me, just like how I instantly was drawn to this story.
It is the most phenomenal story I've ever heard. Like a friend of ours introduced me and Lacey, and he was just like, you got to hear Lacey's story. Like, come to my house and just listen to Lacey's story. And we sat in the backyard and drank wine and ate cheese, and she told me the story. And I was done filming my podcast. I was like, what time are you free this week? I'm gonna book some time. Like, I feel like the whole world needs to hear this story, man. I mean, the story.
And the world has been responding. Incredible response.
Because this is beautiful. I didn't even check to see what year this was done. I'll check before I end the video. We'll check and see.
So far.
Yeah. We've been putting up millions here in the last few days of views.
It's wild.
Which is a tad bit different from my 800 views I'm accustomed to. Let me tell you right now.
Oh, that's so cute. 800 views. So, I mean, to share your story with people, not only in the book, in flashbacks, but also on podcasts and now on TV. How's the response been? And you've been getting it real time on social media.
Oh, it's overwhelming. I would say 90% of it is beautiful and positive, and people are finding themselves in my story in some regard, whether it has to do with my upbringing, whether it has to do with my adoption.
This definitely should be a Lifetime movie, okay?
Story, or my mom, or college, or self-identity. People are finding themselves and their families and their own identity within my story. And they are, I mean, there's no way, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to respond. I have 200 like message requests right now, and we have thousands of comments of people just relating and being proud and being honored and watching. I mean, our podcast was an hour and a half long, and we've had more than 50,000 people watch the whole hour and a half.
I've been one of them.
It's unbelievable.
I've been one of them.
I think that's what I should do. Search for that podcast, because it probably has even more details. But even this part of the story is good for me.
It's blowing my mind.
And of course, where can we find your book? Tell us the name of your book and where we can find it.
Amazon, Therapy After Mom Died.
Therapy After Mom Died.
Yeah.
And of course, Warren, where can we find your podcast where you can hear her full interview? More than an hour and a half long. It was incredible.
The Art of Never Giving Up podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And, you know, I want to put out a quick shout out to Tyler Perry. If you turn this into a movie, She's Happy Hair has to do all the hair. You know, do all the hair.
That's one thing about a Tyler Perry movie. The hair just ain't gonna be right, y'all. It ain't gonna be right.
There you go, Tyler Perry. This needs to be a movie. Thank you guys for joining us. And Lacey, thank you for sharing your story. Incredible story.
All right, y'all. I'm trying to see when this was done. Oh, 2 days ago from what I've seen. This is fairly new. It hasn't been up that long. And you see this comment right here that say, Ray Charles, Helen Keller, and Stevie Wonder could see that this woman is black. Okay, she is a black. Those racists, what's it called, Viter, knew she was not white. The hair was a dead giveaway. But for some reason they left her alone. Yeah, I think her family must have had pull and protected her, and so nobody was gonna step to her any type of way. There's also some more things that we can go into later on. Here's just like one topic.
Wake that ass up. In the morning.
But it was this Republican that was on the Breakfast Club, and we don't like the way he was treated, but he stood his ground, and I'm gonna just show a snippet. We can go in this direction.
Details are what the things that matter. You gotta explain the details, or then you just talk. You're just talking.
And then,
so that's just a preview. So he's out of yes, wasn't it, Darla? Very refreshing. He's out of Florida. He's a congressman out of Florida, and he was on the Breakfast Club. And every time they're discussing politics, they have Angela Yee up here, and she's always rude to the guests. She was rude to Jill Stein, like very ugly to her. And another story that I'm checking into is Obama is in the he not doing good tonight, okay, y'all. He's said, like, went after young black men, basically, not in those exact words, but that they're not voting for Kamala. And so that's a big story right now tonight too. You might see that all up and down YouTube, because black men don't like being told who to vote to, that they gotta vote or they gotta do anything. They don't like that. So they're not taking kindly to Obama's words about that, about they need to vote for Kamala. And A lot of black men are identifying with Trump, and as much as people don't want to accept that, that's what it is. So we can do some videos of that. I have some good videos about that, where they're asking people, who are you voting for and why. And there was something I seen over here too. Like, so we can go in a lot of directions, a lot of different directions. Or we can keep it ghetto on crack, on YouTube. I didn't see that.
Tupac, my brother, was king of the hill, top dog, king of rap. And with it,
so, yeah, we might could go over there too with this, because this just dropped 3 hours ago. See, this just dropped 3 hours ago. And also, I'm gonna tell y'all, and I would love to do this right here.
I want to make love to you.
Love to you. Baby, they done got these two fools together, okay? So I wouldn't mind going over this. I had scheduled to make a live about Jaguar being on Piers Morgan and how she was talking about Queen Bee and her husband, and talking about Diddy and all of that. But since that video, they Bee and her husband's lawyer made Piers Morgan take it down. And I don't know, Piers didn't do his homework, baby, because Jaguar Wright is a whole situation. She has her own sector here on YouTube. And I mean, it even down to when she was hanging out with Solar from Nature Boy Clan, and she took her dead son's ashes and put them all over her face like a hot mess. Yeah, why are they voting? And Anton, let me see if I can pull Anton up. Anton, right here. This is my dude, y'all. This is my dude. Hi, Ghost. Oh, you bought a house in a SunDown town? But how did they treat you, and is it better today? But from what I heard, we still have these towns in America. And so I haven't seen this, but I did see that they said something like Trump called Whoopi Goldberg the B word. So we'll have to dig into that. So here we go with what I was saying about Jaguar Wright being on Piers Morgan. And Piers Morgan had to apologize to Queen Bee and her husband. Y'all, Jaguar be off on a good one, y'all. Off on a good one. I don't know why. I don't know what. Piers did not do his homework. Anton is a Republican, right? And so this is what I was talking about, what I want us to talk about right here. Obama has made the black men very angry. Whoopi Goldberg has been right on several things. Jaguar Wright. Yeah, but some of it you could just know from being in the industry, and some of it she might know firsthand. But some of it, old girl is crazy. I was following her on YouTube when her whole sector was being started, and she had the husband Gooba, and her car caught on fire, and this happened, and then her mama, she kidnapped her mama, charged with elder abuse. Like, I mean, it just got to be too much. I had to fall back on that. Then she had the girl saying she was Aaliyah and R. Kelly's daughter. And then that's another thing that's in the news tonight, is that R. Kelly's real true biological daughter with Drea Kelly has came out with some accusations against her dad today. So that's in the news too. So there's just a lot going on that just I love, all different kind of topics, y'all, because I just can't do the mommy sector all the time. I lose brain cells off of that stuff. Oh yeah, sorry, that you were treated badly. Oh, don't say sorry. Really nice here. Occasionally they say stupid. Yes. Oh, I lived in Inglewood in LA. So and now it's so expensive that people are having to move out of, Inglewood and Los Angeles and California, period. What? The corner sells the pot. Well, hey, yes, Inglewood, I was up to no good. That's right. Yeah, people is coming up out of California. It's just too expensive. And a lot of them are moving to Vegas or coming east, you know. So yeah, and I think the history of land is important, but yet we gotta, you know, keep moving forward. So I don't know, but this is one I wouldn't mind going over with everybody. I did watch this one earlier, and Black men are. Did you ever think you would see the day when Black men would be mad with Barack? Like, what kind of alternate universe is this? But that is what's going on today. And what I like about him, when they're stopping the people right here, looks like they're in Las Vegas, Nevada. Mr. Fortunate doing community service with a woman married to a man in for a fire. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah. At East LA, any type part of LA is it ain't like what people think it is on TV. So this is him asking, you know, he's responding to somebody asking who people are voting for and what. And here's another story that I want to talk about to y'all. I know I'm all over the place, but this one right here, nobody on YouTube is talking about the CJ So Cool story. And if you're a YouTuber, he's iconic. He's legendary. He popped this thing off. So they're allegedly saying that CJ is having money problems, y'all. Money problems. There's SunDown towns for us. There was a Mexican kid stabbing Black men in a Covina. Oh, really? Oh, Lord. I just hope we can all get along. And then I've learned some things that we think are racism are really something part of the caste. It's called caste. And if you watch this movie called Origins, it'll help you learn that, hey, some things are not racism. They're a caste system that would happen whether you're light or dark, like a hierarchy of, you know, people thinking they're better than other people, and not necessarily, you know, specific to race or racism. So yeah, I want to talk about the CJ So Cool situation over here. Nobody is talking about this. So if they start, y'all know y'all heard it over here first. Okay, you heard it over here. But he also did, let me see. He actually went out and was asking people about, are they voting for Obama or, not Obama, Kamala or Trump, and why? And he was saying, you know, the people that you shouldn't vote for somebody just because they're Black, you know, like, I forgot what it's called. Identity. Sorry, y'all. Identity politics. Okay, that's what that's called. Also, I don't like this lady right here, y'all. I don't know if y'all this black lady right here. I do not like her. And she came in there. They said looking like she was on that movie, The Mask, with this just dressed inappropriately. Okay, I don't know who's running that Biden administration, but baby, they are doing the most. You hear me? They are doing too much. So maybe this is a short. And then I'm going to get off of here. But I'm going to let y'all see this short so you can see what I want to talk about.
When you have a choice that is this clear, now on the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you.
Then how come she ain't marry one of us?
When you have,
all right, so that's what's going on with that, y'all. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the comments. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to go over some of the comments before we get off of here. So yeah, that's where I want to head to next. Right, darling. You should not base your politics on celebrities. That they will steer you wrong every time. They will steer you wrong every single time. And actually, he also did a video with Mike Tyson and the rapper Mace that used to was with Diddy, and Diddy stole all his money. So that Mace right there. So he did a video about an interview they were doing, and Mace actually supports Donald Trump. Mike Tyson actually supports Donald Trump. And Mike Tyson was like, hey, I know him. I live down the street from Donald. We be chilling together. That's my homeboy. That's my friend. And I'm voting for my friend. Okay. And he's like, Mike Tyson was like, I don't agree with people saying that he's racist because I know him. Our families be kicking it together. And so I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So I was going through this right here. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll try to come back live again, and have a happy Friday. Bye-bye.